Hello everyone, and welcome back to The Catalyst, where we highlight and break down bullish sentiment, trends, and technical analysis across the markets. This is going to be my first highlight of a stock, actually. Previous videos, if you've noticed, will have only been crypto. So this is going to be dabbling into some market watch for stocks as well. Before we get too deep, just remember I am not a financial advisor, and this is not financial advice, simply just reporting on some findings and information I have read up on. So Palantir recently just got approved for an $823 million contract with the United States Army. This is for their Gotham program. The contract extends over 7 years, so almost $1 billion over the course of 7 years. That does quite a few things for the stock and just the sentiment of the company as a whole, in my opinion. That means the United States government and the United States military is putting trust in a company for the next 7 years, for the next almost decade. And they're doing that with a pretty penny here of approximately $1 billion as well. That is great for this stock, regardless as to where, this drives the stock in the short term. That just also means that we have long-term value in Palantir now. Previously, we had dabbles of, $70 million contracts here or there, and a lot of that stuff was kind of pandemic driven. So we were unsure as to where the stock was going to go in the future. It obviously had, a bright future as what most people expected, but there was nothing concrete yet solidified that was really driving the company. Now we have something that the company can kind of lay its hat on and say, hey, this is what we're doing with the U.S. military. This is our contract, and that's going to provide sentiment for other companies to come in, and utilize similar resources that, Palantir is providing for the military. What they're doing is, the United States military is going to be using their Gotham platform, which is just a data fabric. So it's going to kind of consolidate using a lot of AI and stuff of that nature to help the military with strategic planning and stuff like that. So without much more going into the sentiment, let's check out the charts here. So it's kind of funny. I actually drew this chart this morning, like right when I woke up. And this was obviously before any of the news broke out. So you can see here we have this ascending wedge that was already developing. We kind of closed the market. I think we were only up a few percent, or a fractional percent anyways, right before market close. Yeah, there's almost nothing there. And then after market is when the contract and everything got approved. And then we have since shot up approximately 14%. So this 26.38 is where my last recording of the stock being at. So we went up almost $3, or a little more than $3. So not only do we have some positive support just in terms of the sentiment regarding the stock, a huge contract, we already had a pretty nice looking chart here that we've been kind of, bouncing back and forth through. So obviously the stock shot up quickly, with, Reddit and everything, Wall Street bets maybe influencing the stock, driving it up to $40. And then we quickly kind of came back down as the market recovered a bit and kind of settled in. And we've been bouncing back and forth for the last few months or so, just kind of in this trend. I believe this is since April, since this circle here, and we've been bouncing back and forth. So what is that, 5 months. We see this wedge, though, the top resistance here. It was previously support in other parts, early on, and then it quickly turned into resistance, and we're finding support now on the bottom trend line here. So you can see this arrow developing. We were actually breaking down below this trend line, which could have been, bad news. We could have continued to fall down to these lower fib levels back to maybe $17 or so. But we actually see now, since we've, gotten a huge uptick, we're back within this wedge. I think the biggest thing for us now is to hopefully have this sentiment and everything drive us and break us through this wedge and even break the 0.5 fib level here, which is what could start to catapult us back up, into the $30 range. So we'll be bouncing between 30 and 34 for some time for some future consolidation. Another cool thing too is our RSI is quite low right now. And it's expected that should start to go up as well. So we have a lot of positive stuff and information helping the stock here. I think it was already, due for some upward momentum as long as the market in general had some growth to it. But with this news breaking out and just like confirming how powerful this company can be, especially in the AI market, this is going to be potentially huge movement for us, and we might actually break this trend line much quicker than anticipated. So we could actually break it more sharply here. I don't want to say we're going to go parabolic and do some of these crazy moves that we did in the past. That wouldn't necessarily be healthy. You see, as we break the RSI, as we break that 70 mark, we quickly come back down at some point. So what we want to do, is kind of touch it. So get up into this $30 to $34 range, to the 0.5 to the 0.618. Consolidate again, and then continue our upward growth. Maybe turn this resistance into some support, so we can ride, if we were to extend this, right, we start to ride this out for the next couple months. And, by the time we get to next summer, we're sitting comfortably in the mid 40s or high 40s even. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I would aim for a price target within the $30 to $34 range. I think that's very conservative. After that, we'll have to see how the rest of the market's doing. Obviously, as they progress through this contract, the first 6 months, the first 8 months, we'll have some better feedback as to how well it's performing and everything like that. So just kind of keep some of that stuff in mind. Just, lay out your fibs here, lay out your supports and resistances that you can identify, such as what I've done here as well. And just let that kind of be your guide. Don't go too crazy. I wouldn't YOLO into this or anything like that. It is amazing news, but it's still, an early stock. It's a great stock to get into. I think what we have done here, though, is confirm that it could be worth, holding on as a long-term investment now, at least for 7 years, or, at least for 3 years, to see, get through half of that contract, see where we're at. This could be a $200 stock by then. We have no idea. But yeah, I think this is very positive for Palantir. I hope it's positive for the United States military. And I look forward to Palantir taking on some more large-term contracts like that. I think this is just the beginning. I think there's plenty of other applications for this type of data fabric and AI that could be used in many other industries. And the fact that our U.S. military is adopting it already is just amazing news, and it's just going to provide, a good foundation for this company moving forward. So that's all I got for you guys today. Hopefully this was helpful, and let me know what you guys think the price target is going to be. I think conservatively we can say 30 to 34 right in these fib levels here. Otherwise, we will catch you next time and be back with another video tomorrow. Peace.